This is what I found after cutting into a very overgrown cow's hoof, and believe you me, it gets worse. This cow has just come back from being wintered elsewhere, where she's been housed by a farmer other than her owner, and as she's appeared back, this outer claw is hugely overgrown. As a hoof trimmer, I know this alludes to a problem in the very toe of this cow's foot, and when we have a closer look at this chunk, it's not hard to see that we are correct. We need to remove even more of the toe, so using my trusty nippers, which I've had for years, I set about removing another 1.5 inches. Again, you can see the core of this hoof is actually rotting to its very beginnings. If we look at what remains of her foot, we can see there's a cavity stretching right up into the very heart of the hoof capsule, and that cavity is something that I need to completely uncover. This is going to be a very long and substantial hoof trim. There are cows all around us right now, which is what you can hear in the background, not the cow in the crush. That being said though, this cannot be very comfortable. On trims like this, the hoof capsule is not the norm. The interior of this hoof is completely different from my usual trim. I cannot work to the constraints that I'm normally bound by, so I take my time, taking small snippets from the toe and reducing the size of these claws individually, slowly, carefully. It's little by little, constant reanalysis of the foot, constantly looking for signs that I may go too thin. I know this hoof needs a block, and that's what I'm doing right now, preparing that far away claw or far away digit, ready for a block to be glued in position. Thousands upon thousands of hoof trimmers, farmers and vets around the world are now using my green glue, and I couldn't be happier about it. Yes, it does make me some money, but more importantly, it makes their jobs and the cow's job of healing all the more easy. We're now at the much more delicate part of the trim. One false move here, I could make things much worse than they already are. If I don't take enough away though, this cow stands no chance of healing. This cow has toe necrosis. When a crack forms within the hoof capsule of a cow's foot, digital dermatitis can gain access to that crack. It infects the bone within the hoof capsule, which then begins to die. It's literally impossible for us to regrow that bone within this hoof capsule, so the lasting implications of a problem like this will be very long term for the cow indeed. My only hope is that I can get the end of the hoof capsule to seal over, to grow new fresh hoof horn, and to completely encapsulate the delicate flesh and tissues within the hoof capsule. When we look at the front or dorsal wall of this cow's foot, you can see just how serious this problem is. As a hoof trimmer, this is all I'm allowed to remove, but actually I'm pretty happy with this result. The infection has travelled up and down this dorsal wall, infecting everything behind it. A vet would probably remove the entire dorsal wall, but I, alas, am not a vet. So we treat it with an antibiotical spray the farmer's given us, salicylic acid because it's fantastic at dealing with digital dermatitis, and we wrap the whole thing up with a bandage so that this cow can hopefully begin the healing process.